Hi, Sheldon from Fret again. How are you doing? We are at Sage 2016 and I'm standing with Ronnie from Ronnie's Allbang and Strumit. How are you doing, Ronnie?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Good. So, Ronnie, tell us, how's your experience been of this expo?
It's been marvelous. I mean, I was going to come last year and I didn't, and I should have, but it's going really well. It's a good vibe. It's a very good vibe for me. And for everybody.
That's great. It's awesome to see you here. It's nice having someone representing, you know, the love of what all of us want, which is vintage gear, and we're going to get into some of the lovely ones behind us in a second. I just wanted to ask you quickly, how are you finding the market for vintage gear currently? Is it expanding?
Well, it's very difficult in this country because it's expensive to find premium instruments for sale in this country, because a lot of it will end up being exported, but there's still a lot of very good guitars around, because South Africa was a very big guitar world in the 60s and 70s, so those guitars still turn up. They still turn up.
Now, you're known as the go-to guy for someone that's collecting vintage gear, and I personally have gone and drooled over a lot of the 60s and 70s Fenders and things you have. How did you get into dealing them?
Ooh, it's just a love, you know. I mean, I've been fascinated with instruments since I was a child, you know. I mean, and I play. I've always played. So, and playing, you know, being a drummer, but playing with guitarists, it's all one thing to me. Vintage drums, vintage guitars, vintage accordions, doesn't matter. They've got a different vibe about them, you know. I mean, it's partly the hunt and acquiring. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, on that note, I noticed that behind you you've got a beautiful Sunburst. It's a 62 Stratocaster?
1963 Stratocaster. It's a bit scruffy, but it's 100% original condition. Yeah.
And for everybody out there in TV land, it absolutely feels amazing. Tell us a bit about the red telly that's over here.
That's something really special, that one, partly because it's the color. It's a 1964 Telecaster custom Fiesta red with binding. You know, I mean, that's like ticking all the boxes. You'd be hard pressed to find one of those today for sale anywhere in the world.
It's kind of, yeah, I would like to call it's like a leprechaun riding a unicorn.
Yeah. Well, it's incredibly hard to find in that color. It's a very special finish, yeah, and so desirable. You know.
So I've only got one more question for you. It's a little bit of a personal question, but if you had to pick out of all of your years of experience, your favorite recorded sound, what would that be?
Oh, that's a tricky, because I've been listening to a lot of music for many years, but I liked a lot of the rock bands from the 70s, bands like Free and Hendrix, but I do listen to a lot of modern stuff. But those guitar players, they were the kings in my eyes, because it was all new and it was special. It was very special for me.
Well, Ronnie, it's been an absolute pleasure. We wish you all of the luck with Sage, and we hope that you have a great expo.
And fantastic, and we'll hope to see you all next year, because it's going to be bigger and better.
I'll see you around the corner with my credit card. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye-bye.